It's your boy Tay, back at y'all again. Hey man, I want to come to you guys with this video because I've been seeing a lot of guys more and more talking about the modern woman and how she's not suitable to be a partner. Or even guys coming out saying that they don't want to be associated with women, period. And I think a lot of guys take this journey too serious. They lose focus and lose the true goal of being on retention and just being on a journey to better yourself, period. It's not about not liking women anymore. It's not about getting rid of women out of your life. It's all about self-control. Self-control, inner. But see, some guys want to take that and they want to run with it and act like women are the problem. We're going to get into, the concepts of the modern women and why a lot of women these days are in a toxic mindset. But even with that happening, that doesn't mean that we stray away from the woman, right? You see guys talking about, I don't need women anymore. We can do this on our own. All these groups and things talking about how men don't need women. But let me ask y'all a question. If you look at your stomach, do you have a belly button? You do? Oh, okay. So if you have a belly button, that means that once upon a time, you had an umbilical cord which attached you to a woman. It was your lifeline to a woman. You came from a woman, a womb man. In order for you to be born into this world, into this 3D realm, you had to pass through a woman. Every single human being on this planet has a belly button, which means they were all attached to a woman. They all came from a woman. She's the portal into this realm. So with that being said, once you understand that, you understand it's not about disrespecting or not needing women anymore, because we do need them. See, now we start to understand the role of a woman being the life giver, the life bringer, the gatekeeper. But see, what happened with modern women today is that the programming. I was looking at IG today and I seen a post and it said, oh, I need to find me a man who can deal with all my craziness. And I see a lot of similar posts like that where people are promoting toxicity to be normal. To be dysfunctional is to be normal. Promoting cheating, having side chicks and side dudes like it's just something that's supposed to happen. I see these posts all the time. And it's promoting that to be normal in society. So that's part of the problem. The things that we are seeing on a daily basis sits in our subconscious. So when you have a woman that sees that and she's constantly seeing all these posts saying this, these are programming. I seen another post today with DJ Khaled and it said, when you out with your side chick and you see your wife with her dude and it showed him stand up, looking distressed, looking worried. And it's just like, it's funny, right? That's the whole point. But at the same time, you got to understand who's seeing these things. And if we keep seeing these things so frequently, what it's doing to our mind, what it's doing to the kids. Because the kids see this, right? And they think that's normal. They're going to grow up to think that's normal. And that's when you have a pattern of toxic behavior. See, so we can't blame it on women. You can't blame things. You got to look at the root cause. What is the root cause for all what's going on right now in society? What is the root cause for it? You got girls on OnlyFans selling their body, busting it wide open. It's a society where people are just promoting this lifestyle of dysfunctionality and unrighteousness and making it okay, making it normal. This is why we got to take accountability and responsibility for our own actions and for ourselves, men and women. That's why I tell you guys, you got to break away from the worldly ideals and the worldly things and start focusing on yourself, getting back to nature, getting back to the right way of doing things. Because if you keep following the world, then you're going to end up in that frequency. And this is why a lot of guys end up in bad situations. No self-control. If you're still on the same frequency as the world, then that's what you're going to gravitate towards. That's what you're going to attract in your life. The modern woman, or the sheep women, the sheep people, the modern society period, the whole sheep as a collective, people who are still in a lower nature, vibrating at a low frequency, that's who that is. It's not all women, it's just the women that's at that frequency. But what about you though? Where are you vibrating at? Because I see a lot of guys complain, but it's like, why are you even on the frequency of a low vibrational entity, a low vibrational woman? If you're getting your vibration right, and if you're trying to live a righteous life, you should be vibrating at a frequency higher than that. You shouldn't even be connected to that. Because trust and believe, there's queens out here who's on their journey too and trying to better themselves. Right? So we're not going to generalize and group everybody in one. When we talk about the modern woman and modern man, that's just people who are programmed in today's ideals, in today's society norms. You feel what I'm saying? But that's not everybody, because you got people out here who are detaching and rising up. Remember I told y'all it's a split. It's a split. Everybody's not gonna make this shift. The shift in mindset. You're pulling away from all that programming that you've been given all your life. And you starting to program your mind back to the source, back to the divine. The way you came here, the way you was meant to be. When you start vibrating on that frequency, then you're gonna be okay. You will start to see that there's queens out here who's vibrating too on that level. So you can't put all the blame on them. You gotta take some responsibility for yourself too. That's why I tell you guys, get rid of those flicks. Stop chasing cheeks, man. Stop lusting all the time and get yourself right. Because when you do those things, when you're still watching flicks, when you're still lusting, you still scrolling, looking at cheeks and all this stuff, man, like what you're doing is you're putting yourself on that low frequency. And so you wonder why you still attract these type of women in your life. Well, that's what you vibrating on. What you expect? What do you expect? You expect to be doing those things and still doing low vibrational things and to attract a high vibrational queen? Or just high vibrational people in your life, period? High vibrational situations? It don't work both ways. See, a lot of the men that complain, they still haven't changed their mindset yet. They still haven't got rid of the toxic nature inside themselves. Right? We know it's landmines out here. It's a lot of toxic women out here in the modern day mindset. You know, there's traps laid out here. We know that. You know, if you trip over a landmine, that's your fault. Because you gotta see the signs. That's why I tell you, everything's energy. You gotta fill out the energy. The society we live in is sick. There ain't no role models. And it seems like all the people who are put in front of us to be leaders, they promote the toxic behavior. If you just look at entertainment, look at society as a whole, and just look at the leaders that are put in front of us, and look at what's being promoted in music and entertainment everywhere. And that's what most of society relies on for their answers. You know, especially a weak-minded person. A weak-minded person is going to gravitate to whatever is cool, whatever is the social norm, whatever is popular. And this is how they get them. And then they program you with filth, with junk food for your mind. And this is where the modern woman comes from. And this is where that modern mindset comes from. Men and women. But we're talking about women in this video. But it's the same thing. You got to deprogram yourself, ladies and gentlemen. You got to get out of the matrix. and you got to find yourself. All these things are distractions. Okay? They're just distractions. We're trying to better ourselves. We're trying to get ourselves right. Once all of us, men and women, get ourselves right and we focus on ourselves, it's going to be like a domino effect. That's when things will get better. But we can't sit out here and point the fingers. Oh, it's their fault that I can't do this. It's his fault or her fault I can't find somebody. All this toxic behavior. Okay, you looking at that right there. What about this group over here though? This group over here is vibrating high. Why you not attached to that group? Why you not attracted to these women over here who are on their grind? Is there something inside of you that's still attached over here to the masses? Are you still attracted to what society tells you to be attracted to? You gotta ask yourself those questions. So yeah, we know it's landmines out here, but at the same time, you gotta focus on yourself. You gotta get yourself right. You can't fall for the traps. It's a shift, it's a split going on. So everybody's not gonna make it, and you can't save everybody. You gotta stay on your path. You gotta keep growing, giving yourself nutritional food for the mind, for the spirit, and for the body. There's queens out here doing their thing too. You know, shout out to the queens. But let's not generalize and just say all women, modern women means all women. No, it doesn't mean all women. When we say modern women, we're talking about the sheep, the women who are still vibrating low and they haven't got their mind right. We have to detach from the toxic norms of society. We got to, because we are in charge of the future seeds. We are the leaders of them, and they're looking at us. They're looking for a role model. We got to be that change for the seeds coming up, for the babies coming up. If we don't change ourselves and be that example, be those leaders, be those role models for the seeds coming up, then it's going to be a never-ending cycle of toxic behavior, of a sick society.